Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Johnston here, and we are going to apply what we learned in the story, The Seasons of Farming. So I have a blank piece of paper here. I'm going to fold it in half hamburger-wise or hamburger ways, which means that it'll be short. Then I'm going to fold it in half again. So you should have a piece like this. That way, when I open it, I have 4 equal parts. In my boxes, I am going to label 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. In box 1, I am going to draw a picture of the farmer and what he would do on his farm in the spring. So I remember from the story that the farmer uses the tractor to till or toil the land to plant the seeds for the crops. So I am drawing the ground or the dirt, and then I'm going to draw the tractor because I remembered that farmers use a tractor for help with their plowing needs in the beginning of spring. So I've got my tractor, and I can draw the farmer sitting on the tractor, running it, and he's planting the crops. I'm adding detail to my farmer, like his eyes and his hair, and that he has a mouth, so that we can see all of those parts. So I remembered that in the beginning, in the spring, the farmer uses a tractor to plant the seeds for the crops. In the summertime, I remembered that the farmer had to irrigate or have water given to the plants if it was rainy. And I remember that the plants now have sprouted. So I'm going to show some plants. I'm using corn is my plant. So I'm showing those sprouts, the seedlings, and they're in rows. So I'm showing those green leaves poking the sprouts out of the ground in my rows like the farmer planted. And then I remembered that they used equipment, and it looked like a giant sprayer that was attached to like a lake or a pond, some sort of water base, to be able to make sure that the rain or the water was being able to make sure that the crops stay fertilized and moist so that the crops will grow, because without water, crops will not grow. If we had a drought, that means that there's no water and the plants would become brown and die. So now I've got my next picture here where I've got my rows of corn. I've got my irrigation system. These are the pipes. And then I see my water droplets coming down to keep the corn watered. I remembered that in the fall or the autumn, that the farmer, that's harvest time for the farmer. And I remember that with the apple tree, and that the farmer had to pick the apples off the apple tree. So I am drawing a tree, an apple tree, and I've got my tree trunk, and I'm coloring that. And my green tree is all nice and lush. And so I'm filling in the green leaves in my tree. Now I'm going to add some nice juicy red apples that are going to be ready to be picked out of the tree. And that fall was the harvest time for farmers. And maybe our farmer, I could have drawn a picture of the corn being ready to be picked as well, because that crop would have to be ready as well. I am making my person detailed, so I'm making sure to include the eyes on my farmer and a nose. I'm including those body parts. He has a mouth. Making sure to give him some hair, or maybe I could put a hat on him because we know that it's still sunny outside. I'm going to put my farmer in a blue shirt with some blue jeans on, but maybe you know that farmers wear overalls, so sometimes those can be a tan or a yellow or even black color. But my farmer is wearing blue jeans and a blue shirt. So I'm making it look like he has pants and a shirt on. Making sure to give him arms and hands. Putting some shoes on his feet to protect his feet from the ground. Then I'm going to give him a bucket that he's going to need so that he can collect all those nice, juicy apples. I'm going to give him a brown basket. So my farmer now has his basket, and he's ready to harvest the apples out of the tree. And then in the wintertime, when you think that the farmers would have a slower time, it is time to fix stuff or prepare for the spring. So once again, I'm drawing my farmer. This time he's going to be in a red shirt. Maybe he's going to be in a pair of sweatpants. I'll give him some black sweatpants because he's probably going to be inside the barn. Making sure to remember that I give him arms and legs. This time I'm going to put a hat on him. He's going to wear a farmer's hat this time, just to keep his head a little bit warmer. So I put a farmer's hat on him. Give him some eyes and his nose, arms. And today, my farmer is going to be working on tools. He's going to be fixing his tools. So maybe he needs to fix his hammer, that the top of his hammer fell off. So he's fixing his hammer. And maybe he's got to fix his wrench. So I'm giving him a wrench to fix. He's fixing tools, and he's also going to be working on his crops for next year and his seed packets, and make sure that he's got some peas for seed packets and also some packets for his corn. And maybe he's also decided to put carrots this time on his farm as his crops. So in the winter time, I remember that my farmer, oh, I forgot his shoes. Got to go put his shoes on. It's cold. There's snow on the ground, so he's got to make sure his feet are protected. There we go. So in the wintertime, my farmer is fixing his tools and he's making sure that he's got his seed packets ready for the spring, and then it starts all over again. I hope you enjoyed hearing our application of the seasons of farming and a quick review of what happens for the farmer during each of those seasons.